Guys, what's up? It is Doug, and welcome to another edition of Spooky Villages. We are just flying through all the buildings that are new for this year. Today, I've got something that, well, intertwines two of my favorite things. I've come to really like the Halloween facades, the spooky facades that Lemax has been doing in Spooky Town the last couple of years. This is the third one that they've done, third in a row. And it also happens to be a pumpkin patch, which is, that's like my favorite thing. So let's talk about the creepy pumpkin patch. Here's the creepy pumpkin patch, guys. Check this out. We'll go around here with the box. And something to note here, they have the cardboard inside here, this one. It doesn't have the foam, it has the cardboard. I figure I'll show you what this comes with here. I pre-cut these, but they have a couple things for the razor blade here. You just kind of do this right here, and boom, there you go. And I really like this, actually. I really like the cardboard for the lighter buildings like this, having seen enough of them. So yeah, I thought you guys would like to see what that looks like actually taking it out of the box, because it's pretty easy in this case. And it was worth talking about because it is that cardboard. Here it is out of the box, guys. Check this out. Before we get into actually what's here, because there's a lot to talk about in this little scene. If you're unfamiliar with the facades, this is what they are. They're thin. You can see here the back of it. You've got well, you can plug it in here with a power adapter. There's no power adapter included though. You can run batteries on this piece, which these are very nice that they have the, that you can run batteries, because if you hang them on the wall especially. But right here, you can actually hang it on the wall here, and then you got these little spacers right here. These work great either hung up or on like a mantle. That's actually where I have mine, is on a on a fireplace mantle. But they're really cool because they have all of this here in a small spot, and they're their own scene, like self-contained scene. So just FYI here, sometimes these are hidden on these. The switch for it is right here, on or off, so I don't have the batteries in it right now. So let's talk about this actually as we are going here throughout, because it's a lot of fun. I'll show you what it looks like lit up in just a moment here. But you've got the actual main entrance here, which it has this scary jack-o'-lantern, which this motif, I like that they're doing this a lot. This of course reminds me of the Mad Pumpkin Patch, right? That's one of my favorite pieces of all time. But they keep using this type of thing. I love how it's like the entrance of it. It's really striking. And then you walk up here, or a person would walk up here to the creepy pumpkin patch, where you've got this little pumpkin guy up here, the barn top. I love that. And then on the sides of it here, you have a wicked cider mill is what this is. I love that there's like a cider mill attached to this. You have windmill up here on the sign here, or the side, I'm sorry. You have big barrel here. I love that, like where the cider's pumped. Then over here, you have a barn. So you've got the farm type scene here, the whole thing, encompassing it. You've got to have a good barn. You got the barn here. The lighting on this looks really nice. I guess I should also talk about right here, of course. You can't have a barn without this here, like a silo. I love how that looks. Let's show you what it looks like lit up. So here's the creepy pumpkin patch lit up, guys. I love how this is themed. It looks so good lit up. You have everything really that a pumpkin patch needs here, because you've got barns, the cider mill, and of course the actual, like the stairs that go up to the actual pumpkin patch, to where it looks like, that this is the entrance actually to the pumpkin patch. It looks like the entrance to like a haunted attraction, really. I dig how it looks. I love all the characters that are all over it, and it looks very appropriate in line with the other facades. I'll show you an example of that here in just a moment. This whole piece does hit me in the feels though, and I love that blue lighting. It's kind of like a blue turquoise just lighting that comes out of the roof of the cider mill. I think that looks very nice, and I love those little eyes that are cut in back to the right under the the entrance actually to the creepy pumpkin patch, or I guess it's in the entrance. And I mentioned it before, that jack-o'-lantern up front here, that style of a jack-o'-lantern Lemax has been using for a while now. They really, at least as far as I can remember, it started with the Mad Pumpkin Patch, and they've done it on a bunch of other pieces, and I really like that theming there. It really looks good, and it looks scary, but it also looks very, thematically appropriate. One thing to note on this piece, you do have a lot of lighting, but there's nothing, moving, or there's nothing strobing. It's all static lighting. It's just very, very well done static lighting, and I love the use of colors. This piece, it just hits me right in the feels with the theming. I love a spooky pumpkin patch. So what I love with these facades is how they are self-contained. And you can see right here, I'm putting it from the one from last year, the Haunted Estates. These are two of them, and then there was the Raven Hill one from a couple years ago as well. That's the three that they have. But you can see it here with the Haunted Estates. I love how they look side by side like this. I hope they keep doing these because it's going to be pretty crazy in a few years, you know, when they've got a bunch of these out, at least hopefully. I think these are very, very well received. I don't know many people that don't like these that they're coming out. Even those that don't collect them, it seems like everybody thinks they're a cool idea. So I really hope they, you know, they keep it up. I'm looking forward to in a few years, basically my whole you know, my fireplace mantle is going to basically be like its own village scene, or its own village, I should say. And that's what's really cool, I think, about these is that, you know, if you don't want to go buy a bunch of buildings, or, you know, if you don't have a bunch of space, you can grab, well, one of these is a self-contained little scene, but if you grab a couple of them, and as of the recording of this year in 2024, they are all available. You could have a nice little like village, you know, display without really taking up much space, and there's no real hassle with it, you know, because you only have to put 3 buildings away, and it's very easy. You could run them all off one multi-adapter or just put batteries in them. If you think you would ever want to collect these, you know, the facades, I would really recommend getting them because you can get them all right now. Like this one here is available this year at Michael's. So far, they've all been Michael's exclusive, but then they've been available at dealers the next year, at least the previous, the 2 in the line. So I'd assume this one's going to be like that too. But the price on these, when these things go out of production, especially now because there's a couple of them, so they go together, they are going to skyrocket. This is going to be a collectible piece. All the facades, I should say, are going to be collectible whenever they do go out of production. So if you think you would want to get into this and do the facades, I would just grab them year by year. It's just going to be a lot easier that way. And right now there's only 3 of them, so it's not, you know, it's not an insurmountable task. Like if they do one of these a year in a couple of years, it could be, you know, a pretty good amount of money if you want to get them all at once. Right now though, you know, somewhat reasonably you can get them. Again, you can get this one from Michael's this year, and then you can grab the other ones from dealers. Something that I don't know that they would ever do, but I think would be really, really cool. Since these facades aren't, you know, totally like one building and they're actually kind of a mishmash of several together, it would be really cool to see them do something that's like retired buildings that have some bits of some retired buildings and some nods to them. Like how cool would it be to have like part of like the blood bank, the classic piece with like a Dr. Stretch and Pole's Torture Factory, just blend them together, you know, not blend them together, just put them together like they're a town corner or something like that. It'd be fun to see a facade of some retired buildings. I guess that's what I'm getting at. You know, I don't know that they'd ever do something like that, but it would be a lot of fun, especially for longtime collectors. So that's the Creepy Pumpkin Patch, guys. I love these facades. It's one of the things I look forward to now is to see what new facade gets announced whenever the buildings get announced over the winter. Just a lot of fun. These are very, very cool, and a lot of people seem to like them. You know, post in the comments below, what do you think would be a fun theme for one of these facades in the future? Because that's what's cool with these things, being sort of standalone. They can be a lot of different things, and you can kind of put some stuff together that maybe you wouldn't normally do. It's a lot of fun. It'll be fun to see what the Lemax designers come up with in the future, assuming that they do continue it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. There's going to be no video part after this because there is no soundtrack or no animation. So I'm just going to leave you with a tease, although I guess it's not really a tease for next time. You know, next week we're going to talk about the last new for 2024 building that I have early before they release at Michael's. Then I'll be going through, you know, more of them, of course, like always that I do. But I saved one that I thought would be fun for kind of the early preview finale. We're going to check out the Cursed Ruins. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.